Hey, news is breaking. Events or wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your pocket.
Get plugged into the heartbeat of entertainment on The Hub, your ultimate show on e-vibes. From trending stories and social media drama to top charting music, must-watch movies and exciting moments from the world of arts, we've got it all. Join us for unmissable conversations with your favorite entertainment personalities, plus fun segments every week.
So I should try harder. So
okay, I don't know that one.
Outfit of the day.
Oh, I don't do that. That's some Gen Z stuff.
Oh, now you say it's a Gen Z stuff.
It's everything you love about entertainment, served fresh every week at 1 p.m. with weekend repeats just in case you missed it. The Hub's on e-vibes, where the vibes never stop. Only on Signature TV.
We are local.
International communities observing
Right, the main market is in chaos. People
We are national.
Those in support of this motion as amended, say aye.
we have taken the vote by default.
We are international.
Israeli airstrikes.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.
Welcome to Global News on Signature TV. I am Barry Kumo Ado. In the headlines, federal government begins evacuation of Nigerians amid South Africa's xenophobic attacks. UNN hosts inaugural CB Okafor lecture series with focus on maternal health. UN watchdog demands Iran provide information on nuclear stockpile. And India says US hit another ship off Oman, confirms 3 dead in separate attack. Details in a moment.
We are local.
International communities observing
right, the main market is in chaos. People
We are national.
Those in support of this motion as amended, say aye.
we have taken the vote by default.
We are international.
Israeli airstrikes.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.
Nigerians evacuated from South Africa following renewed xenophobic attacks has arrived safely in Lagos as the federal government begins its emergency repatriation program. A total of 268 returnees arrived at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Ikeja on Thursday aboard an Air Peace aircraft chartered by the federal government. The evacuation flight, which was initially scheduled to depart earlier in the week, experienced delays due to documentation and clearance procedures before eventually leaving South Africa. Repatriation follows growing concerns over the safety of Nigerians living in South Africa amid a fresh wave of anti-foreigner violence that has heightened fears among migrant communities. Federal authorities say more than 1,000 Nigerians have so far indicated interest in returning home, with additional evacuation flights expected as arrangements are finalized. Additional evacuation flights are expected in the coming days as authorities continue efforts to assist Nigerians willing to leave South Africa amid the ongoing tensions. Maternal mortality remains a major public health concern in Nigeria, accounting for thousands of preventable deaths every year. It is this concern that brought together nursing professionals, academics and stakeholders in the health sector in ENUGU to proffer pathways to safer motherhood and stronger healthcare systems. Christopher Lele reports.
Stakeholders from the health sector, academia, traditional rulers, and the nursing profession converge on the College of Medicine, University of Nigeria, Ituku-Ozala, for the maiden Emeritus Professor C.B. Okafor annual nursing lecture series. The event not only celebrated the remarkable contributions of Emeritus Professor C.B. Okafor to nursing education and professional development, but also provided a platform for critical conversations on Nigeria's troubling maternal mortality statistics. Chairman of the occasion and former Vice Chancellor of the University of Nigeria, Emeritus Professor Benjamin Ozumba, described Professor Okafor as a pioneer whose commitment to excellence, mentorship, and capacity building has left an enduring mark on the nursing profession. At the heart of the gathering was a keynote lecture delivered by the Dean, Faculty of Nursing, University of Ibadan, Professor Priska Adejumo. Speaking on the theme, Understanding the Persistence of Maternal Mortality in Nigeria, Evidence from Past Interventions and Future Strategies, Adejumo highlighted the alarming global and regional realities of maternal deaths. According to her, nearly 287,000 women die annually from pregnancy and childbirth-related complications worldwide, with sub-Saharan Africa accounting for the overwhelming majority of cases, with Nigeria being one of the countries most affected. Professor Adejumo stressed the need for greater investment in healthcare technologies, improved access to quality maternal services, and stronger health systems capable of preventing avoidable deaths.
Nigeria faces one of the highest maternal mortality rates, and maybe it's not estimated to us yet. If you just take a look at our communities, our environment, wherever we are, and try to cast our mind back from January this year to now, if you have ever heard about any person, any young lady, any young woman, any married woman, any person who died as a result of any pregnancy-related death, the consequences extend far beyond that woman and her immediate family. After death, it disrupts households, it affects child survival, it increases poverty, and it undermines national development.
Chairman of the local organizing committee, Professor Ijeoma Okoronko, who was represented by Dr. Ifeoma Ndubisi, described the lecture series as both timely and necessary, noting that maternal health remains a key indicator of development in any society.
This annual lecture series will continue to serve as a testament of our legacy to the college in general and the department in particular. It is designed to be a beacon for academic discourse, a catalyst for ongoing clinical improvement, and a platform where we can critically examine the future of nursing and healthcare.
Head of the Department of Nursing Sciences, University of Nigeria, ENUGU campus, Dr. Peace Ehanacho, expressed gratitude to Emeritus Professor Okafor for her unwavering support and contributions towards the advancement of nursing education in Nigeria.
Today is the beginning of the new history that we are marking in the Department of Nursing and in the College of Nursing.
Colleagues, former students, and family members paid glowing tribute to the nursing icon, describing her as a distinguished scholar, mentor, and administrator whose influence continues to shape healthcare practice across generations.
The woman is just exceptional. She knows how to support, how to groom, how to give value to whatever that is planted, upcoming, I'm glad that today this first in the lecture series has taken place.
And everybody has to join hands in making this thing possible. And I want to call on all men to please see that woman around you as that special breed God has created to bless the woman, and do everything to protect the woman before pregnancy, during pregnancy, after childbirth, and going forward.
My mom has worked hard throughout her life, from the day she was born till today. She's still working hard. She's a very smart woman, very intuitive, and very, very generous and loving to everybody. She's our mother, but in our house, then growing up in the campus, everybody used to come to our house because it was always so welcoming. She made a mandate of bringing everybody in, whoever you are. She will bring you in and she will advise you. You know, she was a mother to so many other people apart from us.
The event also featured awards and recognitions for outstanding contributions to education and healthcare, including honors for the faculty's best lecturer and the overall best graduating students in the nursing sciences.
I'm really so grateful. I feel deeply honored to be given this certificate, and I'm really grateful to God. I'm also grateful to the entire Faculty of Health Sciences, precisely Department of Nursing Sciences. Without the guidance of my lecturers, I wouldn't be here today. So I'm deeply thankful. And regardless of how exhausted I feel and the self-doubt, I'm glad that I'm here today. And this dream is currently a reality.
I'm happy. I'm most grateful to God. For God has proved to be the Jehovah Jireh in my life. At every point in time, He provides for me. Having this urge in you that I will succeed, I want to succeed, and that has been a propeller for me. Besides all, I have a wonderful family, supportive husband, and children who are helping me to see that I excel.
The consensus from the gathering is that ending maternal deaths beyond policy declarations requires deliberate investment, skilled healthcare personnel, and access to facilities essential for protecting the lives of mothers across Nigeria. In Enugu, Christopher Lele, Signature TV News.
Taking the establishment of state police across the country. The decision followed voting during Thursday's plenary session presided over by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas. According to the Speaker, 288 lawmakers voted in support of the bill, while 4 members voted against it. The vote came a day after lawmakers devoted an entire legislative session to debating the merits and implications of creating state-controlled police forces. Members voted through a show of hands after the Speaker informed the House that the electronic voting system was not functional. Meanwhile, the Senate has also advanced a proposed legislation by passing the State Police Bill through second reading. Senate President Godswill Akpabio announced that further consideration of the bill has been referred to the Senate Committee on Constitutional Review for detailed examination. He added that senators are expected to vote on the bill during a subsequent sitting after the committee completes its review and submits its recommendations. The House of Representatives has reaffirmed its position that first-term lawmakers are not eligible to occupy principal offices in the Green Chamber. The resolution followed the adoption of a motion sponsored by Babajimi Benson, coming 1 week after a rowdy session over the contest for the minority whip position vacated by Kingsley Chinda. During the debate, Benson drew the attention of lawmakers to Order 7, Rule 15 of the House Standing Orders, which limits eligibility for principal officers to members with legislative experience in the House of Representatives. He argued that parliamentary best practices reserve such leadership positions for experienced legislators in order to preserve institutional memory and strengthen the effectiveness of a legislature. However, Solomon Bob opposed the motion, maintaining that the provisions of the House rules are already clear and require no further interpretation.
This motion is totally redundant, unnecessary. What it means is that we are amending our rules for you to be able to exercise that power. Henceforth, if any question comes here for interpretation, we have to first seek the House's resolution to ask you to interpret the contentious provision in our rule. You have that power. You are in the position of a judge, an arbiter. What you say about the rules is final.
Meanwhile, the House adopted a separate motion sponsored by Zakaria Nyampa, calling on the Nigerian Army to discontinue the automatic merger of service years for officers commissioned through the Short Service Combat Commission, Direct Short Service Commission, and Direct Regular Commission.
Also aware that the automatic merger policy is discriminatory, undermine morale and cohesion within the officers' corps, accelerate the retirement of experienced personnel, and create manpower gaps, create increased recruitment costs, erode institutional memory, and deviate from international best practice.
The Senate Committee on Public Accounts has issued a fresh ultimatum to heads of government agencies with unresolved audit queries, directing them to appear before the committee or face sanctions. Chairman of the committee, Ibrahim Dankwabo, gave the warning during a session reviewing responses from agencies with outstanding audit observations raised by the Office of the Auditor General for the Federation. One of the agencies under scrutiny, the Bank of Agriculture, informed the committee through a letter that all outstanding issues had been resolved with both the Auditor General and the committee. The bank, however, requested additional time to allow its newly appointed managing director collate relevant documents and submit a comprehensive response. Responding, Senator Dankwabo said the committee would communicate all outstanding issues to the affected agencies within 1 week. He warned that agencies that failed to appear before the committee and provide satisfactory explanations will be sanctioned in accordance with legislative procedures.
The committee has made it abundantly clear that this kind of invitation is extended to the organization through the chief executive. And any correspondence must be signed and delivered by the chief executive himself, not by the manager legal. Not by manager legal. And this is the last time we will take this kind of correspondences with our agencies. 2, within 1 week, as you have heard, the agency must make itself available to this committee with all these issues. We are aware of all the issues. We have been members of this committee, and these issues have not been.
Speakers who spoke during the session underscored the importance of accountability and transparency in the management of public institutions, insisting that all agencies invited by the committee must honor the summons.
We sent a letter to the Bank of Agriculture, and they made reference to 2024. Today is 2026. We have several issues of which we invited them. Courtesy demands that they should show appearance, not a letter. They should show appearance. And secondly, this committee must make it abundantly clear to the Bank of Industry. The next time, agriculture, he appears, the MD must appear. We do not want representation. We cannot extend that courtesy to them. Let the MD appear here, and failure to do that, we have various ways of sanctioning such organizations. And the letter that was read, I believe it is in bad taste, in the sense that we extended invitation to the MD of the Bank of Agriculture, even if he believes that all the issues have been resolved. He would have come here and explain. So for him to write and say that the issues have been resolved and there are no new issues, that we should write him and give him whatever issues are, and then give him not less than 2 weeks, so that the people signing that letter will not brief him. I think that letter is totally in bad taste.
So this attitude of agencies not responding to our summons will not be allowed to continue. When we issue notices or invitations to people to appear before us to answer audit queries, these are audit queries. All these things are audit queries. We didn't manufacture any case against anybody. These are reports sent to this Public Accounts Committee, for which they will need to seek their responses to. They don't come. Some of them don't even write any letter. It looks like they think that this Public Accounts Committee is just a tutelage.
Affected agencies include the Bank of Agriculture, the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company, and several other government establishments with pending audit queries. The Senate has passed for second reading 2 bills seeking to increase the number of judges of a federal high court and justices of a court of appeal in a bid to improve the administration of justice and reduce delays in the nation's judicial system. The proposed legislation seeks to increase the number of judges of a federal high court from 70 to 90, while the number of justices of a court of appeal will rise from 70 to 110. Leading debate on the bills during plenary, Senate Leader Opeyemi Bamidele said the measures are aimed at addressing a growing backlog of cases, enhancing access to justice, and ensuring the timely resolution of legal matters across the country. He noted that increasing volume and complexity of cases before the courts have made it necessary to expand judicial capacity and to meet the demands of a rapidly evolving legal and socio-economic environment.
The essence of every judicial system is to ensure the timely and effective administration of justice. As justice delayed is justice denied. It is a known fact that no democracy can thrive where citizens and institutions are unable to obtain prompt judicial determination of disputes. As such, it is imperative that the justice sector is well equipped with both human and material resources for it to be able to perform its constitutional role effectively.
The bills received broad support from lawmakers who stressed the need to strengthen the judiciary and restore public confidence in the justice system through faster adjudication of cases. Several senators observed that the persistent delays in the termination of civil and criminal and commercial matters continue to place enormous pressures on the courts, underscoring the need for additional judges to improve efficiency and reduce congestion.
To have been done. So in order to pass in quick dispensation of justice and bring justice to the doorsteps of the citizenry, there is a need to support this bill that seeks to increase the number of judges in the Federal High Court for quick dispensation of justice in view of the expanded jurisdiction, the very vast jurisdiction of the Federal High Court. I support the second reading of this bill. Thank you.
The reason behind this bill is not far-fetched, considering the workload before our Court of Appeal. It goes without saying that there is need, to increase the number of justices of that court. Most especially, Mr. President, going by the amendment of the Electoral Act, the Electoral Act has given the Court of Appeal original jurisdictions on some electoral matters. Hence, the need to increase the number of justices of the Court of Appeal. This will also, of course, increase the general output, which will, of course, indirectly or directly, boost the confidence Nigeria has in our court. Because, like the Chief Whip said, justice delayed, in most cases, is justice.
Presiding over the session, Senate President Godswill Akpabio referred the bills to the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters for further legislative consideration.
Both bills are hereby referred to the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters to report back to the Senate in 4 weeks. So let me thank the Senate for the way and manner in which they have responded to the need for expeditious dispensation of justice in our country. And of course, I believe strongly that the decision you have taken today, when it goes through the necessary public hearing, will help to decongest the courts and will also help the common man and the rest of us here to have justice quicker and faster, because they say justice delayed is justice denied. So now we have done the needful. The financials are already provided in the various budgets, and I believe strongly that when these courts are expanded across the nation, justice will be brought to the doorsteps of every Nigerian. And a lot of people who are running away from Nigeria, particularly on cabotage issues, where Nigeria is not a very attractive destination for shippers. Instead, they go to Cotonou and others because of quick dispensation of justice. All that will change with what we have done today, the expansion of the two courts.
Conduct a detailed review of the proposals and submit its report to the Senate within 4 weeks. The governing board of United Nations Nuclear Watchdog has adopted a United States-backed resolution calling on Iran to provide complete information about its enriched uranium stockpiles and grant inspectors access to verify the material. The resolution was passed by the 35-member Board of Governors of International Atomic Energy Agency, or IAEA, with 21 countries voting in favor. Russia, China, and Niger opposed the measure, while 10 countries abstained. Development comes amid heightened tensions between Washington and Tehran following an exchange of military strikes. The United States accused Iran of responsibility for the downing of an Apache helicopter in the Straits of Hormuz, leading to the most significant escalation since the ceasefire in April ended weeks of conflict involving the United States, Israel, and Iran. According to IAEA, Iran possessed an estimated 440 kilograms of uranium enriched to 60% purity before Israel and U.S. attacks targeted key nuclear facilities at Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan last year. Since then, Iran has suspended cooperation with the agency, preventing inspectors from verifying the status and location of the enriched material. India has confirmed the deaths of 3 sailors following an attack on a tanker off the coast of Oman in what is being described as the latest maritime incident linked to ongoing United States operations in the region. The victims were crew members aboard the Palau-flagged MT Cetabello, which came under attack off the Omani coast on Wednesday. Indian authorities confirmed the 3 sailors previously reported missing have now been identified among the dead. India's shipping minister, Sabanananda Sonowal, described the incident as tragic and announced measures to ensure the immediate repatriation of surviving crew members and the return of the deceased sailors for burial. Development comes as India lodged a strong diplomatic protest with the United States following the attack on a vessel which was carrying 24 Indian sailors. Meanwhile, a separate incident was reported involving the Guinea-Bissau flagged MT Jalver off China's port in Oman. According to the Indian Foreign Ministry, the vessel was struck during an operation by the U.S. Navy after allegedly attempting to transport oil from Iran through the Gulf of Oman. The U.S. Central Command said its forces targeted the vessel's engine room after repeated warnings were ignored. A fire subsequently broke out on board, prompting a distress call. All 20 Indian crew members aboard the Jalver were reported safe and were evacuated with the assistance of Omani authorities. The incidents marked the 3rd attack on the vessels carrying Indian sailors this week amid heightened tensions surrounding U.S. operations aimed at enforcing restrictions on Iranian oil shipments. Pope Leo has called on world leaders to treat refugees and migrants with greater humanity, warning that history will judge those who allow people fleeing war and poverty to suffer. Speaking during a visit to Spain's Canary Island, one of Europe's main migration entry points, First American Pope described this message as an appeal to the conscience of political leaders in Europe and across the international community. Addressing thousands gathered near a memorial for migrants who lost their lives at sea, Pope Leo said human dignity has no passport and does not lose its value when crossing a border. He urged governments not to become indifferent to the growing death toll among migrants attempting dangerous sea crossings. The Pope visited Gran Canaria's port of Aranguineon, once dubbed the Dock of Shame by humanitarian organizations, after hundreds of migrants were left in poor conditions during the COVID-19 pandemic. This trip fulfills a long-held wish of his predecessor, Pope Francis, who had planned to visit the islands before his death. The visit is a key part of Pope Leo's week-long tour of Spain, during which he has repeatedly warned that escalating global conflicts are deepening humanitarian crisis. A growing wave of pro-Palestinian activism is sweeping through German universities, with student bodies demanding that the institutions end academic collaborations with Israeli universities over alleged links to Israel's military operations and policies in occupied Palestinian territories. At Leipzig University, nearly 700 students voted overwhelmingly in support of a motion calling on the university to terminate partnerships with Israeli institutions. Student activists argue that Israeli universities contribute military research, surveillance technology development, and the promotion of government narratives regarding the conflict with Palestinians. The campaign followed similar resolutions adopted by student councils at universities in Berlin and Düsseldorf, reflecting increasing support for Palestinian solidarity movements on German campuses. Student organizers at Leipzig said they gathered more than 1,000 signatures to convene a general assembly. However, university authorities withdrew permission for the event to be held in a lecture hall, citing concerns that the initiative represented a partisan position and could restrict academic freedom. That's the news. I am Barry Kumado, thanking you for watching.
Save Nature TV. News in your pocket.
Welcome once again to The Sage. I'm Dr. Kechi Obuagu, your guide on this extremely exciting journey. A journey that's been filled with discoveries. Discoveries that have made us hopeful, made us proud to be Nigerians, to be part of such wonderful people who have graced this show and come to share their lives and their experience with you. Today, in continuation on a series about young entrepreneurs in particular, we are focusing on a topic that I, perhaps as a lady, even if it's an old one, find joy in the issue of beauty, the issue of looking after yourself, the issue of being an African proud to be in her or his skin. We have a wonderful guest who's going to share her experience with you. But before I talk about the exciting guests we have lined up for you, let me again take you back on a journey of reflection. We as Africans have begun to try to, in a way, find our lost identity. And I think perhaps nowhere does it show more than in African women, or African women of African descent all over the world. As a young girl in the 60s, we grew up when people like Billie Jean King was the famous actress in the scene and began to try to be African. She would do her hair with bows and beautiful things in it. And then we moved into the 70s, which was again an adventure of redefining our African identity. As a young girl in the 60s myself, in the university, we spotted huge afros. I don't know how many of you remember that. Huge afros. And so it has been. Trying to retain and assert the beauty of our African genes and African heritage. Our curly hair, our black skin. Many of you would remember the concept that, was all over the world. Black is beautiful. It is beautiful and continues to be beautiful. But perhaps never more than at this time in history has the black identity solidified so much. In fact, I am proud to identify now with the millions of other black people and people of black origin who have been able to stand up there with our heads held high and say that, in fact, black is even more beautiful. Whether it's in terms of what we do with our hair, the braids, the styles are unending. And I like to think that what I have on is a testimony to that. Or whether it's in the sheer glamour and beauty and color of what we wear as Africans. We love color, we love the petals, and it identifies us. And in Nigeria, I think I am probably proudest of Nigeria in the whole world. Perhaps because I'm a Nigerian, but what about our geles and our head ties? They're incomparable. We are beautiful, and we are proud of that beauty that is inherent in our black skins, in our brown skins, in our curly hair, in all the many, many ways we can wear it. We can wear our hair curly, we can straighten it. My daughter says the sheer patterns and styles you can do is in itself a gift. So welcome to the show. We have with us today in this episode a truly exciting young lady who agrees with me. I wouldn't have brought her to the show if she didn't agree. In the fact that black is beautiful and that black is special. And because it is, our skin requires special care, special products. Our hair requires special care, special products that define us. She is a truly inspiring young lady. Stay with us. In the next segment, we will bring this young lady to you. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. At the end of the last segment, I promised to unveil this wonderful young lady to you. A lady that I love being with because she makes me feel good. She tells me what's good for my hair. She tells me what's good for my skin. An inspiring young lady who is passionate about making the black person, the black lady, beautiful. Please join me in welcoming Oma Ayegba to the studio. I always say her name wrong, but that's all right.
You said it right. Thank you for
this
having
time.
me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Oma. Thank you. I will say Oma now to be on the safe side.
Okay.
Thank you for being here. And please tell us about yourself. Tell us a little about yourself.
My name is Oma Ayegba, the founder and formulator for Decure Cosmetics. I am a graduate of psychology turned formulator. Funny, right? Funny enough, I didn't like sciences coming up, but here I am formulating cosmetics, you know, but I studied psychology from National State University and from Kogi State.
Okay, that's great. I'm sure the psychology of cosmetics is an important field of study.
Yes, it is. For one, you have to feel good about yourself.
Okay, that is half the battle.
That is half the battle, yeah. So,
yeah, so it's true. But tell us, why cosmetic? What made you decide to go into that?
Okay, growing up, I battled with a lot of skin issues, a lot of acne, skin reaction to all manner of stuff, you know, and I kept spending a lot of money on a lot of things. Today I'll use this, I'll break out the more. So when after university I started working, you know, before I was using my parents' money for school, it was easy for me to come around it and everything. So I started researching into reasons why I am even breaking out. I react practically to everything.
Okay.
I react to even black soap. I react to almost everything. So I told myself I was going to own my beauty someday.
Okay,
yes.
I like that.
I decided to own my beauty, so I started researching and understanding why I was reacting to these things. I buy a product, I look at the ingredient list, and then I try to research on each ingredient to know which of them I could be reacting to. So when I decided I was going to own my beauty, I decided I was going to determine what goes into my skin and my hair. That way, I determine what happens to my skin. I own my own beauty. Nobody tells me what goes into my skin anymore. That is how I started. It started like a joke. I started formulating for just myself. Then, you know, I'll formulate and then it will be too much for me. I'll give to family and friends. They'll use it, they'll like it, and then I'm like, okay, I think there is market for me here. There is need for this. People, you know, Africans are generally accepting their beauty now. We are no longer interested in foreign things. We are accepting our hair texture the way it is. We are accepting our skin color. As a matter of fact, people who use things to alter their skin color are now trying to go back to their original color.
Wow.
Yes, we are owning our beauty.
Great.
We are owning our beauty, and I'm happy it's happening in my time.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and people like you are encouraging it and making it possible.
Yes, because for people like us, we are telling you that your skin, like I tell some people, in another 10-20 years, we are going to have a lot of skin issues that we need to solve because of damage that has been done in the past. So now, let us start doing the same way we are going after eating healthy. Our skin also should be healthy, right? Like things like shea butter, for instance. In some places, they use it to cook. People eat shea butter, right?
Yeah.
Coconut oil, you eat, right? So most of these
olive oil, all of them.
You know, you eat these things. So if it's good enough for you to eat, it should be good enough for your skin, and it should be good enough for your hair. Right. So what I try to do as a formulator is like shea butter is one ingredient. Just like you're going into your kitchen and trying to make vegetable soup, you have palm oil. You won't use palm oil to eat your semo. You need other ingredients to make it delicious. So what I, as a formulator, do is I bring these ingredients together, these same ingredients together to create skin and hair products.
Okay. Where did you find the skill? I mean, did you have to? Yeah.
Yes, I did. First, I started doing videos from YouTube. But as I was growing, I realized I didn't need that. I had gone beyond that. I needed more. The more I do these things, the more I feel the need to research. So I took courses. I have certifications from La Botanica. I got from Institute of Cosmetic Science. And then recently, the most recent certification is from Fragrance Bar, sponsored by Conversation for Change. I'm sure you are aware of that. So yes.
We shall hear more about that.
Yes,
we shall
yes, so
yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited, and I think we'll take a break.
Okay.
When we come back, we will want to see and hear a bit more about these your wonderful products.
All right.
Stay with us. We'll be back. Welcome back. I'm excited. I can hardly wait to hear all the trade secrets. So you told us about using yourself as the guinea pig to begin with, and you really testing and mixing all kinds of products, finding what works for you so that you're no longer reacting, so that you have the beautiful skin that is obvious to all of us.
Thank you.
So what are the products? Tell us more about what are those detailed products you have now.
Okay, for skin, I have shower gels for bathing. I have body butters for this season, this Harmattan season. When I say body butter, it's not just like whipping butters together. It is emulsified. It is water-based. So your skin is not feeling so greasy. You know, so we have the body butter, an emulsified body butter. We have exfoliating body scrubs.
Okay.
You know, whether, you know, products, they clog our pores. We need to unclog them every once in a while. So we need these scrubs. For acne.
Can people with as old as me still benefit?
Yes, mommy, yes, you do. You do. It's for everybody apart from babies.
Okay.
Below 12 years. I don't encourage that because their skin is still very tender. They don't need this. They don't need things like that. But we have products for babies too. We have shower gels for babies. We have body butters for babies. We have hair care products for babies. Especially for babies that always cry when you comb their hair. We have detanglers. We have, as a matter of fact, I have a formula that I'm bringing into the market now. It's called Don't Be Naughty. It means your hair shouldn't be naughty.
Okay.
So yes.
The naughty is the hair.
Yeah, the naughty is the hair. So it's called Don't Be Naughty Hair Detangler.
Okay.
Yeah, it's targeted at children. Because I run a salon, most parents bring their children and they are always complaining, when I comb her hair, she's always crying, you know. So when you use detanglers, I have product that when you use, it's easy for you to comb their hair. They don't need to cry, they don't need to, you know. So we have product for natural hair, we have product for processed hair, we have product for damaged hair. We've used, before now, most people were using relaxers, texturizers, colors, all manner of things on their hair. So we've had to deal with damaged hair. As a matter of fact, a lot of people are now battling with serious damaged hair. So we have products for that also. You know, if you decide to still use to relax your hair, you should also be able to keep it healthy.
Yeah.
So we have product for that. So our product is not just for people who carry natural hair. So even if your hair is chemically processed, we still have products for you to just keep it healthy, to keep the hair healthy. So yeah, we have those too. We also have products for men.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
My product is for
so
everybody.
they're not left out.
They're not left out. No. We have products for men. The men are now going bearded.
Yeah, I noticed that's a trend.
Yes, it's a trend right now.
Yeah.
So, yes. So for grooming their beards, we have products. We have beard balms. We have beard oil. We have beard moisturizers. We have body butters for men also. Some men will tell you, I don't use anything apart from Vaseline. No problem. We have product that you don't need to spend 5 minutes applying it on your body. If you use a petroleum jelly, then you should be able to use our body butter
And they're affordable, eh?
Very, very affordable. That is the thing. Mom, you don't know my plan. Is to chase all the foreign products out of Nigeria.
Woo!
They are very, very affordable, yes, because most of our ingredients are sourced locally.
Okay.
Yeah, so that makes them very affordable.
Tell me, how did you build the structure to your business? I mean, you've talked about the products, but how did you ensure that you're functioning in a way that it's going to be a potentially profitable business? What helped you towards that?
Before now, I was producing on a small scale. I was battling. I was making from my kitchen. You know, I'll make for like lotions. I make like 3-4 liters. You know, until one fateful day when on social media I found Conversation for Change that they were helping youths to expand, to train them and everything. And I just said, let me apply. I've tried such things, and then most times I won't get stuck. I don't finish it up. But when I clicked on that button to apply, I realized that the requirements were very few. So I applied and then forgot about it. Then I got an email. I went for the interview, got in, and then they started training me. What I thought I knew before, I unlearned.
You had to unlearn it.
I had to unlearn it because the kind of people they brought in to train us were, I couldn't afford them on my own. Things I thought I knew, I unlearned and learned new things. Then C4C sent me for another training in formulation. And after that, they gave me a seed grant to get me a 100-liter mixing machine. So now I can afford to make in large quantity and reach more people and make more money.
That is great. And are you employing anybody?
Yes, I can't do that alone. When I was doing from my kitchen, I was using spatula to mix. Now I have machines. I need people to man them. I need men that will be able to lift the heavy to pour in the machines. I'm getting more raw materials. I won't be able to do that by myself. So I had to employ people.
That is good.
To do these things for me. Packaging. If I was bottling 10 a day, now I'm bottling 100. Wow. I have a family. I have to take care of my family.
And this is within the space of
just a few months.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Now I can't bottle all that. I can't be making the products, bottling and then marketing it or making deliveries to customers. No. So I had to employ more people to do that.
And probably your training allowed you to conceive all of that, recognize that you needed all kinds of personnel to also support and expand the business.
Part of the training, they brought in someone that taught us on human resources.
Okay.
So that angle was taken care of because after that I knew that I needed to outsource most of the things I was doing. Then another person was brought in that taught us on financing.
Okay.
How to handle our finances, how to set our pricing.
Okay.
That was very, very important. That pricing impact.
Absolutely.
It was very, very important because before I was making and I thought I was making profits until I had that class. I realized that I wasn't selling right.
Okay.
Yes. So the training helped me to restructure my pricing. So I wasn't losing too much, and I wasn't how would I put it? Overcharging, yes. Okay. So yes, I was on the balance. So
this is exciting. This is exciting. We will have a break. We will have a lax break, and when we come back, we will take you up again, learn a little bit more. Were there any challenges, and so on and so forth. Stay with us. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. But I know you've been enjoying, like I have, this exciting journey down beauty lane. That's what I want to call it. I'm already itching. I think for sure I'm going to be more beautiful from today. I'm going to sample her products.
You decide to own your beauty from today.
I used to think I did already, but I'm willing to learn some more.
Okay.
It's been wonderful, truly wonderful. Jokes apart, I think you've been courageous and you've recorded great success.
Okay.
Have there been any challenges along the way, or was it just easy pansy?
If any business person tells you it has been easy pansy, please, I want to meet that person because it hasn't been easy. We've had a lot of challenges, but the one that I want to talk about was the COVID. The COVID came and it almost crushed us in the beauty industry because I also run a salon and people have to come in. My salon is where people come to test my products. So people were no longer coming in. I couldn't reach out to people. Business was declining, you know. And then I'll still talk about conversation for change. After my trainings with them, there was follow-up and everything. And then during the pandemic, I got a call or a message saying if I had any challenges, we could brainstorm and work something out, you know. And then we had that meeting and there was an eye-opener for me. You know, it was there I realized that, okay, even if people couldn't come to me, I could go to them with my market, with my business. I figured out a way to reach out to people.
Okay.
You know, and before the COVID, I was making just skin and hair. I wasn't thinking of sanitizers.
Okay.
Because after the brainstorming, I realized, oh, I could actually make sanitizers because at this time, this is where people are going to really need these sanitizers, you know. So I decided
that
to
became
make
part of the things you formulate.
Yes, it became part of the things I formulated, and I didn't just formulate it myself. I formulated it, and those clients that were no longer coming, I decided to send to them to remind them that I was still in the market.
Okay.
And so I sent some sanitizers to them, and then reminded them that you could actually still make your hair while you're at home. Just get the product to teach you how to use these things in the house. You know, so that was how we managed to
survive that period of lockdown.
Yeah.
So this is truly exciting, and I can see you're going places.
Thank you.
And so I wonder, is there room for people to invest? And I mean, unless you think you have all the money you need, is there room for people to invest so that the business can grow?
Remember I said my plan was to chase most of the foreign products out of Nigeria, right? I can't do that on my own.
Absolutely.
We need to come together
to
do that, to achieve that. We need to make Nigeria a better place. We need to make Nigeria. We need this. If I have investors, I'll expand and I will employ more people, and there will be the issue of unemployment will be reduced greatly. So yes, I need investors. I really need investors.
Great, great. So for many of our viewers out there, this is somewhere you can reach out to Oma. We're displaying her contact. Apart from the great cosmetics and other products that she has, it's also somewhere that you can invest some money, and definitely it will go places. Before I let you get off the hot seat, do you have a few last words for some of our viewers out there, other young people like you? What would you say to them?
If you're out there, you are a mother, a housewife, a young adult who just finished school, and you're saying there's nothing for me to do, there are so many things for you to do. I chose to own my beauty and I took this journey. You can, as a housewife, you can also learn to formulate and own your time and your beauty. You can do from your kitchen. A lot of big brands still operate from the kitchen. So if you are a housewife thinking of what to do, do not just sit and say that the government is not providing jobs. You need to create a job for yourself. If you're a young adult who just finished school and you're looking for a job and you're saying, no jobs, I've been submitting CVs, look within you. There's something you can do for the country. You can give back to the country. You can create these jobs. You don't have to sit and wait for the government to come knocking at your door, or some uncle somewhere who probably has his own issues to give you some money to spend. No. Own your own time. Get something doing for yourself. You don't need so much to start.
Wonderful advice. Wonderful advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
And so to all our viewers out there, we thank Oma It's been wonderful listening to her passion. So it's been wonderful. Let's celebrate ourselves. Let's celebrate our innate beauty. Let's celebrate being Black. Let's celebrate life. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Until the next time.
Thank you.
You don't tire for this picture. Oh yeah, make you follow Unorodo. Nigeria don't go digital with free TV. Over 100 channels they wait you. Sport, news, and better entertainment for your own language. No matter where you dey, whether for city or whether for village, the satellite signal they reach every corner of Nigeria from day one. No monthly payment again. Once you get Ogbonge free to air decoder, you don't win. This one, now our own national asset. Even from your phone, you feel watch out. Just download the free TV app and carry your TV go anywhere you dey go. Scan that code now or call 0700-388-7277. Free TV, digital TV for free. Brought to you by MBC.
Bright and early as the day breaks, as the newspaper headlines trail the stories that shape the day. We at Signature TV trail the headlines that trail the day. We interrogate the headlines. We analyze the stories that make the headlines.
Wayek is overrated, and they even overrated themselves and went into CBT. They are insensitive of some Nigerian children who have never had what is called CBT.
With passion and emotion, we drive the conversation to change a narrative.
Let nobody be deceived by Nigerian high level of performing in agriculture export. We are still where we are.
Newspaper review on Signature TV every morning on Signature Morning, weekdays, and Signature New Day, weekends. Newspaper review on Signature TV. We do not just review the headlines, we make the headlines relevant to our daily lives.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.
Health is more than a diagnosis. It's your lifestyle, your choices, and your future. Join us on Inside Health, your weekly deep dive into the stories, science, and solutions shaping your well-being. From expert interviews to real-life journeys of healing and hope, we cover it all.
One of the complications of cancer management or treatment is they have some of them, at one point in time, you see them having anemia. Okay, so you see them at times being transfused. But at the same time, you come in with a diet.
Nutrition, mental health, innovations in medicine, fitness, and everyday wellness. Whether you're managing a condition, staying informed, or just living your best life, Inside Health is your trusted guide.
I'm Tigiti Agorom, and I'll be with you every week on Inside Health, only on Signature TV.
New every morning on Signature TV, we open the day for you with needed energy, information, and required vibes to shape your day. From sizzling snippets of stories in various areas of life to intriguing conversations with net worth guests.
When you have people who have no track record becoming your leaders, you have a problem.
There's no outstanding gratuity when Obi took over from me. I left in all the accounts of Anambra State 13.8 billion for him.
Your day cannot be complete without Signature Morning on weekdays and Signature New Day on weekends. There is no better way to start your day except Signature Morning and Signature New Day every day on Signature TV.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking, events occur, and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your pocket.
Health is more than a diagnosis. It's your lifestyle, your choices, and your future. Join us on Inside Health, your weekly deep dive into the stories, science, and solutions shaping your well-being. From expert interviews to real-life journeys of healing and hope, we cover it all.
One of the complications of cancer management or treatment is they have some of them at one point in time you see them having anemia. Okay, so you see them at times being transfused, but at the same time you come in with a diet.
Nutrition, mental health, innovations in medicine, fitness, and everyday wellness. Whether you're managing a condition, staying informed, or just living your best life, Inside Health is your trusted guide.
I'm Tigiti Agorom, and I'll be with you every week on Inside Health, only on Signature TV.
Signature TV. News in your pocket.
Bright and early as the day breaks, as the newspaper headlines trail the stories that shape the day. We at Signature TV trail the headlines that trail the day. We interrogate the headlines. We analyze the stories that make the headlines.
Why is overrated, and they even overrated themselves and went into CBT. They are insensitive of some Nigerian children who have never had what is called CBT.
With passion and emotion, we drive the conversation to change the narrative.
Let nobody be deceived by Nigerian high level of performing in agriculture export. We are still where we are.
Newspaper review on Signature TV every morning on Signature Morning, weekdays, and Signature New Day, weekends. Newspaper review on Signature TV. We do not just review the headlines, we make the headlines relevant to our daily lives. New every morning on Signature TV, we open the day for you with needed energy, information, and required vibes to shape your day. From sizzling snippets of stories in various areas of life to intriguing conversations with net worth guests.
When you have people who have no track record becoming your leaders, you have a problem. There's no outstanding gratuity when Obi took over from me. I left, in all the accounts of Anambra State, 13.8 billion for him.
Your day cannot be complete without Signature Morning on weekdays and Signature New Day on weekends. There is no better way to start your day except Signature Morning and Signature New Day every day on Signature TV.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking, events occur, and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your
Beautiful morning to you, our exciting and lovely Nigerians watching us from your screen, wherever you are. Today is June 12th, Democracy Day, a day that for many Nigerians are worth celebrating. While today happens to be one of the days that some Nigerians are asking question, what really is happening to our democracy? My name is Christopher Lele. Welcome to Signature Morning. And of course, we jump into the newspaper review. Stay with us. On the newspaper review this morning, we'll be starting off with the first paper on our desk, the Daily Newscraft. That's what we shall be looking at as our first story this morning. The story here says Nigeria targets $11 billion solar power projects. I think that again, Nigeria targets $11 billion solar power projects. Still on this newspaper, the major story here says Democracy Day, 27 years after. Nigeria still searching for true democracy. Analysts speaking there. The writer says demand respect for rule of law, justice. Call for free, fair, credible elections in 2027. You can find that on page 2 of the Daily Newscraft newspaper. Insecurity. Parents keep children away from schools in Niger, Nasarawa, Edo. Writer says FCT school earners tend to vigilantes. Okay. And still on this paper, this other story says Reps pass state police bill, scaled second reading in Senate. Tinubu commissions Abuja Airport Kuje Road, says abandoned projects era is over. 268 Nigerians returned from South Africa over xenophobic attacks. June 12, Jubilant FCT resident mark Democracy Day. Jubilant FCT residents mark Democracy Day. Free Agbedi emerges a new House of Reps minority leader. Nigeria meets 102% of OPEC quota as production hits 11 months. That's just about it on the Daily Newscraft newspaper. We'll take a look at the Punch newspaper. On the Punch newspaper, state police closer as NAS defines federal state powers. Rider says landmark bill passes crucial second reading in Senate. Reps to replace PSC with Federal Police Service Commission. All right, another story here says xenophobia. South Africa repatriates 586 Nigerians. You can find that on page 4. Federal government panel uncovers prison feeding scam. Pushes 3,000 naira allowance. That's on page 43 of the Punch newspaper. Still on this paper, Tinubu confers national honors on ex-Punch MD Oshinubi Babatokpe others. You can find that on page 2. Southwest governors playing politics with security. Ex-DMI chief Togun speaking there. All right, and Democracy Day address. Terror financiers will pay dearly, says Tinubu. Democracy Day address. Terror financiers will pay dearly, says Tinubu. All right, let's take a look at the Vanguard newspaper. On the Vanguard newspaper, the story says Ijo, Ichekiri, Orobo leaders meet Tinubu, agree to end protests. Democracy Day. Tinubu honors top journalists. generals, others for roles in struggle. You can find that on page 14 of the Vanguard newspaper. Xenophobia, federal government evacuees slams South Africa over documentation claims. Riders says South African authorities frustrated paper renewal. Evacuees speaking there said Nigerian embassy complicated our cases. Government to activate early warning mechanism to protect Nigerians. Foreign Affairs Ministry speaking there. Next batch due back Monday. Evacuation to be concluded this month. AG High Commissioner speaking there. All right, still on the Vanguard newspaper, State Police reps pass bill, scaled second reading in Senate. Another story here says Davido protests Oyo school kidnappings at World Cup concert. We gave Obi Kwankwaso free hands to pick candidates. Dixon speaking there. You can find that on page 46 of this paper. And on the sports scene, Mexico days South Africa in World Cup opener. Canada, Bosnia trade tackles today. All right, that's on page 56. You get all this and more on the Vanguard newspaper. Away from that, we look at the Daily Sun newspaper. On the Daily Sun newspaper, June 12, Atiku Obi NBA tasks Nigerians on democracy. The writer says there must be renewed civic duty. Government speaking there, Nigeria must strengthen institutions to consolidate democracy. Lawyers sharing their thoughts there. Still on this paper, insecurity. PFN rejects repentant terrorist policy. Tinubu to terrorists, surrender or die. Rider says, expresses pain at the abduction of school children in Oyo, Borno. Says, criticize me, disagree with me, but never stop believing in Nigeria. Okay, away from that, another story here says, xenophobia. Tinubu vows to protect Nigerians abroad as federal government receives 258 from South Africa. Page 28 has that story. Warri Federal Constituency, Ijo, Ishekiri, Urobo, leaders meet Tinubu agree to end protests. Senate disowns supposed arrest warrant on ex-NNPCL GCEO Knox Oshimule. Extends 2025 budget implementation to September. Extends 2025 budget implementation to September. That on page 26. Reps approve state police bill. Bill scales second reading in Senate. All right, we'll take a look at the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. On the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, the major story here says Democracy Day. Tinubu restates determination to secure Nigerians. And then there are riders here, and it says democracy without security a mirage. Assures Nigerians of economic freedom. List gains of administration bold reforms. Names Petroleum Institute after Shehu Yaradua. Honors Oshinobi, Alake, and others regarding national awards. And still on this paper, reps vote for state police. 289 lawmakers approve bill. Senate defers voting till July. Again, the echoes of June 12. The writer here says, your actions contradict spirit of June 12. Article tells Tinubu, APC. That you can find on page 5. Warri Federal Constituency, Ijo, Itsekiri, Urobo, leaders meet Tinubu, agree to end protest. All right, and finally, we have the Blueprint newspaper. The major story here says Democracy Day. Tinubu defense reforms, vows no mercy for terrorists. Rider says over 13,000 insurgents neutralized in 1 year. Terror deaths down by 81%. To honor Alake, Tunje Bello, and others, June 12 heroes. 27 years of uninterrupted democracy, Nigeria's most obvious achievement. APAC speaking there. All right, and troops kill ISWAP leader Khalifa. 2 commanders surrender in Borno. Rider says CAS charges armed forces graduates emerging security threats. Another story here says Access Holding affirms a long-term value strategy at the AGM. All right. Okay, this is sports. Mexico down South Africa 2-0 after 3 red cards in World Cup opener. Another story here says Senate disowns arrest warrant against ex-NNPC GCEO Kiari over insisting 210 trillion naira. All right, that's just about it on the Blueprint newspaper. I can see Maduka eager, to share his thoughts on the stories so far this morning. The Oracle himself, the eyes of the gods, and of course the voice of the people. Maduka, Chris, good morning and welcome to Signature Morning.
Good morning, Chris.
Nice.
I was happy in, is it
Democracy Day?
June 12th.
June 12th, yes.
Yes. Were you born then?
No, I wasn't. Are you really happy about this day to start with? Because I know how passionate you are about a true...
Some people fought, they say when a man finished fighting a war, the women will remain alive to tell the story. You see the list on Blueprint, the list of the men who fought. Nigeria, with their own platform, NADECO, they secure and return us back to democracy. Some of them are dead. Few of them are alive. But the present people who got to democracy on a platter of gold are messing up with it. But some of these people went into exile, were denied so many things at their lives. Some of them even died. Ko Abiora, his wife. I know, remember the radio Kudirat was broadcasting from outside this country and giving Nigeria a hot chase. They had a little choice. But to know that the only way is to assuage this particular region that is fighting. But a lot of people now think democracy came and by counting 10, 1 million, 1,000 and this. It is totally against the spirit of people who fought to keep Nigeria. And some of my Yoruba friends did not know to fight and keep Nigeria back with this platform was not done by Yorubas alone. Check the list. You happen to be Sikano, who was one time the sole administrator of Lagos State when Nigeria was Nigeria. You can have a Yoruba man to be a sole administrator in Igbo land. And we have it all over, all over. You have Igbo man in the house. That's how the army does it. When Nigerian army have dropped that devilish attachment of tribalism, they were working professionally. Despite the people, everybody said democracy, democracy. We fought and got democracy. The army stepped away. They stepped aside, according to IVB. Watching. Are we in the spirit of June 12, keeping to terms of democracy? Are we still playing with it? Hoping that someday some people will come back and use their head to break coconut of democracy? For some people, irresponsible Democrats, or so they call themselves, to come and mess up with it. The way we are doing. In Igbo land, they say it's only children who doesn't know what war is, call it aya. In Igbo land, aga is aga, but small children who doesn't know what aga is, which is war, battle, call it aya, aya. That's how we describe it. These present people who are holding a democracy do not know how people sacrifice to get this done. Unfortunately, the incumbent president was part of NADECO who fought to get this. What is unsurprised that under his watch, he has employed people who are demarcating his democratic stance. Because of selfishness. When there was NADECO, they were fighting. They were not fighting on these selfish people of everybody talking down on the people, thinking they are the gods. They didn't know how these things came. You ask them, where were you? Where people were in the trenches. How many of them went to broadcast on Radio Kudirat to get Nigeria to a negotiating table? They have to search and search. They knew how they get to go to get Obasanjo out of the prison. I was with the journalist who went to the Altar, his farm, to interview him 2 weeks after he left there. I remember how IBB came to visit him and he had about 10 minutes talk. The final thing we had, he was get ready to be Nigerian president. Because they thought it was by giving him Nigerian president is how to solve. And when they gave him Nigerian president, Nigeria calmed down. But some people now, in the name of whatever they swallow without knowing the history, because they deny Nigeria history. Even the leaders don't tell people the history. They will wipe their brain. They begin to kill people who has. Look at what South Africa is doing to Nigeria. I watched a viral video of an officer from South Africa describing Nigeria as the worst country in the world. Anywhere Nigeria go, they describe others as better than us. I suppose that when that one who were in the one woman and nobody stopped her, and that viral going by and we are watching. She was not born when Nigeria fought to keep with them, to bring sanity back to South Africa. As far as she's concerned now, she's a South African and she can talk. That's what is happening in the war. When the strong people fight the war, the cowards stay back to tell the story and mess things up, tell it according to their story. That's about June 12th.
Okay, still about June 12th, the president made a statement. He said to the terrorists, he said, surrender or die. And then there's also a message here from PFN saying that they reject repentant terrorist policy.
Well, with the president hitting hard now, and I want to believe...
Hitting hard, how?
I mean, making some hard statement. We have not had it like this from him.
There have always been statements.
No, but the statement has not like said, stop it now or get finished. He has not said this kind of thing. Whether in the spirit of June 12th or in the spirit that we are getting to a point where we can't take it any longer. Something must push somebody to, and the president has been pushed to the point of telling the people on the other side who are fighting Nigeria to drop that or face the... Is reassuring, honestly. Because he himself, in the rider of that, said, democracy is useless. It's a mirage without security. In fact, life in itself is a mirage without security. So, it's good that the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, the Commander-in-Chief of Nigerian Armed Forces, Jagaban, is beginning to say some hard things that looks like something we can hold on to. We have to, like, say, let's wait and see how he makes good these threats, because it's a blank confrontational threat to the terrorists and bandits.
Okay, let's get on that story.
And many people have rejected using Pepe to cure madness. It's like, you have been killing me for the last 2 decades and a half, killing Nigerians, abducting, collecting billions of dollars that Nigeria has not budgeted for. And we keep pushing you back into the system. They say, after curing a madman, you can hardly cure winking. You winking with your eyes. So a lot of people believe that there's no need to bring, using caterpillar, the one that stinks, to bring it close as friends. Ejiho, obubu emenyi. So if people have been on the other side fighting Nigeria, it has to take almost 2.5 decades of what time they've used to kill Nigerians to rehabilitate them. You don't rehabilitate anybody under 2 weeks and put him. I mean, the sickness of being a bandit and there is a sickness, and it's a spiritual sickness. Somebody can, what they call it, relapse. The time they're using to rehabilitate them is too short. It must be a high
and
diplomatic
you must see some
level.
Sense of remorse and repentance.
So for them, it's a very nice policy to say rehabilitate them, put them under watch or parole for a long time. Now see how they have changed. before you bring them close to anything.
And their phones, their calls are supposed to be monitored to be sure that they're not
That
making
is what I'm
contact
saying.
with the people they
They
left.
must have been profiled and followed closely. You don't just do boom, 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 pam, pam, pam kind of rehabilitation and recleaning of their mind, put them back. A mind is most dangerous thing, and something that sticks there is not something you rehabilitate under 1 month. Somebody was saying they will call them and say, how many people have you killed? I say, I killed 10. Okay, 2 weeks. I killed 20. 3 weeks. The number of people you kill determine how long they... But what kind of rehab? I've not been in where they rehabilitate them. I'm saying these are how Nigerians perceive that. And the federal government and the people in charge of it are not caring what the people are saying. When a child is crying and pointing to a bush or anywhere, pointing, if the father is not there, the mother is there, or something you want to eat is there, or somebody is so close. So when majority of Nigerians are against PFM came out again, PFM is not the only, said, do not put them back into, if you want to put them back, put them into civil service. Put them into so many other things, not in Nigerian army, not in armed forces, where they will have access to gun again. Somebody you stop from smoking Igbo, or using cocaine, you will say you have cleaned him up, and now you carry Igbo and give him, and say he should keep. Who is tempting who at that point? Somebody are using the AK-47 to live life.
Yeah. This is a very. So, let's get to another story.
No, go on.
Yes, reps vote for state police. 289 lawmakers approve bill, and then Senate defers voting till July.
So whatever is happening now, we know that it's the Senate. Because we have come this morning for us to celebrate. I thought we would bring wine and then cheer to the Federal House of Reps of Nigeria has absolved themselves. Whatever is state police is now rest on the table of the distinguished senators of Federal Republic of Nigeria. They can't be thinking is something, no senator is beyond what is happening in Nigeria. For the Federal House of Reps, who are more in number, to have quickly done their own job. They have told Nigerians their stand. They have given the blow and opened their hands to show Nigerians that they did not hit with stone inside their hand. The bulk is in the desk of the Nigerian senators, the distinguished senators of Federal Republic of Nigeria. They are now the ones who will tell us. They said July. But like my father will tell me, whatever remains one is finished. I mean, before you know it, they just want to make sure where they are. Whether they said before that they're supporting that transmission of results cannot do. When some of them failed now, they came back and said, so those things might be playing in their minds. They will forget that security is the reason why they are there. Only a living senator will determine when to vote. So let them postpone it. The house can never fall and leave the roof. So whether Nigeria is collapsing, senators or whatever you call yourself will collapse along with it, because we are all Nigerians. So the sooner, they better think like their colleagues in the Federal House of Reps, honorable men there, that are seen what we are seeing. If it's my brother Zebediah Chikop, I say, are you seeing what I'm seeing? If they are not, Senate is not seeing what Federal House of Reps is seeing, it means something like one of them told people who didn't see what our president is doing in Nigeria, that they have problem with their sight. They have consultant ophthalmologists there who can go and look at their sight, so they can see what the Federal House is seeing urgently, because delay is dangerous.
Indeed. All right, so June 12th, in the good spirits, let's get here God's blessings. And
June 12th, I recall with nostalgia and a lot of reflection. I was in Ibadan, the first edition of June 12th. That the pioneer did with the June 12th visa. Working with IITA Ibadan. When the riots and the people disenchantment of June 12th, Nigeria was closed down. No bus, no market, nothing. Nigeria was totally totally closed down. That will tell you how Nigeria loved June 12. You can't do nothing. People saw that the masses can decide what will happen. They closed down Nigeria. You can no transport, intercity, or there are certain time in the day things will operate small. We were allowed to go to market, buy something. That everything was regulated, and we saw for once Nigeria speaking with one voice. They voted for MKO Abiola for them to be the president. Suddenly they say that satanic clause came into Nigeria that has nothing has been won since then, of whatever they call it, that word they used to annulment came in, and we suffered it. All the editions of it, you look back and said, June 12 is no more having that kind of, because tribalism, sentiment, Nigeria keep dividing as if June 12 is a Yoruba affair like that. Just like if something will start as a national convention and there was small time, they would think whoever started it, there was something happening in Nigeria, they say it's an Igbo coup, and they're using it to fight Igbos. Now, why are they not using June 12 a Yoruba coup to fight Nigeria? What? Nigerians are telling themselves lies. And this is what they destroy Nigeria. So, for those who want to remain Nigeria, through Nigeria, and who want sincerity, God will continue to bless you. And for those who love Nigeria everywhere in the world, who has been with us, God will continue to bless you. For us here, Chris, who are celebrating, we thank God for our lives, so we still thank God and say, God will continue to celebrate June 12, despite all the odds. And we'll be here to tell the story, because we are the sector that tell this. If they give us time, we tell them. Some of them have forgotten, or some of them we wish to forget June 12 and what it stands for. But we go on and say, God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. Remember that God blessings are meant for those who deserve to be blessed.
All right, thank you. Of course, we jump off for a short break and come back to have our next segment. Stay with us on this very station.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking, events occur, and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your pocket.
Nigeria are not practicing true democracy. Why? Number one, why is democracy? It's the government of the people, by the people, for the people. But the people are not seeing what the government are doing. The government is just deceiving people. There is no true democracy. So to me, democracy is not, this celebration is not even worthy to be celebrated, because things are getting worse and worse and worse. Instead of us to achieve, we are going down.
Since you said we are practicing democracy in Nigeria, now look at the situation that we as a country, we are passing through now. Come to security. Some days back, we were hearing of killings in Benue and Plateau. And you said you are practicing democracy, and up to now, you have no plan for you to address all these issues that is happening on the Plateau and Benue. You can't say that is democracy. So seriously, to me, I don't think we are practicing democracy here in Nigeria.
In my own way of understanding, we are not practicing democracy. We are not at all. Because what is happening is not in line with what we expect should happen in this country. After that June 12th election, being a successful election, but just that you know what happened. Presently, what happened is that these days we are not doing that same way we expect. What happened today is that the more you have powers and the more you are influential, that is the more you win election in Nigeria. Or you know how to manipulate, that is how you win election in Nigeria. To be sincere, democracy is not seen in the country practically, because democracy, according to the definition, is a government of the people, by the people and for the people. People elected them. But I don't think from the legislative to executive are going by the wish or will of the voters or the citizens. If you compare Nigerian democracy with some other nations like South Africa, you can see a very clear difference. The democracy we are practicing, we will not get there in one day. Gradually, we are moving forward. Democracy, no matter how, is better than military regime. So, I supported democracy, and the practicing may not be perfect now, but we get there.
Nigeria's democracy is still going through a thickening problem. Honestly, I've been looking for an opportunity to air my view as far as this issue of democracy is concerned. It's a big shame, despite where many countries who are democratic, they don't. This is not democracy in practice. This is not democracy in practice. It's just on paper. But I believe that with time, there is hope. There is hope, but just that we are not really where we got democracy from. This is not how it is done. We celebrate so-called criminals. You see criminals walking on the street. Is it democracy? They recycle them. Yeah.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.
Democracy Day in Nigeria, the legacy of June 12 and the road ahead. June 12 holds a unique and powerful place in Nigeria's political history. Initially remembered as the date of Nigeria's freest and fairest election, it has since been officially recognized as Democracy Day, a symbol of the nation's journey towards democratic governance. On June 12, 1993, Nigerians overwhelmingly voted for Chief Moshood Kachimowala Olawale MKO Abiola in an election that transcended ethnic and religious divisions. However, the military annulled the election, sparking national outcry and years of democratic struggle. In 2018, President Muhammadu Buhari declared June 12 the new Democracy Day, replacing May 29 in recognition of its historical significance. The significance of June 12 goes beyond politics. It represents the people's will, courage, and demand for accountability in governance. It is a date that redefined Nigeria's democratic values, symbolizing sacrifice, struggle, and eventual progress towards civilian rule, which was fully restored on May 29, 1999. Let's look at the achievements since the return of democracy. Peaceful transition of power since 1999. Nigeria has experienced multiple peaceful transfers of power between civilian governments, including from one political party to another. In 2015, a historic first in the country. Expanded civic space. The return to democracy has allowed for more freedom of expression, press freedom, and the growth of civil society organizations. Social media has also enabled citizens to engage in national discourse and hold leaders accountable. Electoral reforms. Although far from perfect, Nigeria has made strides in electoral processes. Innovations such as the introduction of biometric voter registration, the bimodal voter accreditation system (BVAS), and digital result transmission are aimed at reducing fraud. Growth of democratic institutions. Institutions like the National Assembly, INEC, Independent National Electoral Commission, the judiciary, and the anti-corruption bodies have gained strength, even though they still face challenges. Youth participation, movements like End SARS, and the passage of the Not Too Young to Run law have empowered young Nigerians to participate more actively in politics. Then the challenges facing Nigerian democracy, electoral violence and voter suppression. Elections in Nigeria are still marred by violence, intimidation, vote buying, and low voter turnout, which undermines the credibility of the democratic process. Corruption and poor governance. Despite anti-corruption campaigns, Nigeria still battles systemic corruption, mismanagement of public funds, and weak transparency mechanisms in government. Insecurity. Rising insecurity from Boko Haram insurgency to banditry and communal clashes threatens national unity and weakens citizens' confidence in the democratic system. Judicial independence. There are ongoing concerns about the independence and impartiality of the judiciary, especially in high-profile political cases. Poverty and unemployment. A democracy thrives when the people prosper. However, economic challenges, including high unemployment and inflation, have contributed to public disillusionment with democracy. Ethno-religious divisions. Nigeria's politics is still heavily influenced by ethnic and religious identities, leading to marginalization and calls for restructuring or secession in some regions. In conclusion, June 12 is not just a date on the calendar, it is a living memory of Nigeria's collective demand for democracy, equity, and good governance. While there have been notable achievements since the return to civilian rule, many challenges still hinder the realization of a full democratic ideal. As Nigeria commemorates Democracy Day each year, it must recommit to building a system where justice, development, and citizen engagement are not just ideals, but realities for all Nigerians. Only then can the true spirit of June 12 be honored. Happy Democracy Day, Nigeria.
Get plugged into the heartbeat of entertainment on The Hub, your ultimate show on eVibes. From trending stories and social media drama to top charting music, must-watch movies and exciting moments from the world of arts, we've got it all. Join us for unmissable conversations with your favorite entertainment personalities, plus fun segments every week.
I should try harder, so...
Okay, I don't know that one.
Outfit of the day.
Oh, I don't do that.
No.
That's some Gen Z stuff.
Oh, now you say it's Gen Z stuff.
It's everything you love about entertainment, served fresh every week at 1 p.m. with weekend repeats just in case you missed it. The Hub's on eVibes, where the vibes never stop. Only on Signature TV.
Fellow Nigerians, today we celebrate democracy and the enduring Nigerian spirit. For 27 unbroken years, since May 29, 1999, Nigerians have chosen their leaders through the ballot, witnessed peaceful transition of power, and resolved disagreement in courtrooms and legislative chambers, not through violence. We have experienced the longest stretch of civilian rule in our history. Our democracy is not perfect, but it is ours, and we must continue to defend and strengthen it. In the coming days, Ekiti and Osun states will hold elections. I urge INEC, security agencies, and all parties to ensure these polls are peaceful and credible. Democracy fails when citizens doubt the process. To our National Assembly, judiciary, the press, and civil society, you are the guardrails of our republic. Criticize me, disagree with me, but never stop believing in Nigeria. To our young people, Nigeria is your home and your future. Build here, code here, work here, and food here. Every great nation was built by those who stayed to solve problems, but not by those who abandoned ship. To our armed forces, police, and intelligence services, Nigeria salutes your sacrifice. To our traditional rulers, faith leaders, and community heads, thank you for your support of peace and reconciliation. The government cannot do it alone. Today, we honor the resilience of Nigerians who refuse to surrender their faith in freedom and the courage of those who stood firm against intimidation. We pay tribute to patriots who endured persecution, imprisonment, exile, and even death so that future generations could enjoy democracy. I salute labor leaders, journalists, activists, students, women, professionals, political leaders, and soldiers, both those who passed and those still with us, for their patriotic contributions. Though this year's mood is dampened by the abduction of our children in Oyo and Borno, we remain hopeful for their safe return. Democracy without security is not solid enough. That is why this administration has chosen both kinetic and non-kinetic strategies to restore peace, declared a security emergency, and approved the recruitment of 50,000 new police officers and thousands of military recruits. Our 2026 budget commits 5.41 trillion, our largest ever, to defense and security. We have moved from training with our allies to precision targeting. In Arege, we degraded ISWAP and command centers. Terror-related deaths are down by 81% since 2015. Over 13,000 terrorists have been neutralized in the past year. But we also keep the door of surrender open. Over 124,000 fighters and dependents have laid down arms since 2023. Through Operation Safe Corridor, we turn our former enemies into citizens because every life saved is a victory for democracy. To bandits, kidnappers, and sponsors of terror, surrender or face the full force of the Nigerian state. These windows of surrender will not remain open forever. No mercy will be shown to those who trade in blood of Nigerians. At a time like this, let us not assign blames or point fingers. Crime has no ethnicity. We must stand united and be assured that the enemies of our nation shall soon be history. We will triumph over terror and continue to build a more prosperous nation. June 12 occupies a sacred place in our national memory. It represents more than an election. It is a defining chapter in our history. We remember Chief MKO Abiola, who won a pan-Nigerian mandate transcending ethnicity and religion. We remember Alhaja Kudirat Abiola. We also remember Chief Ganifa Emi, Chief Bola Ige, Chief Alfred Rwani, and Pa Abraham Adesoya, Chief Anthony Enahoro, Alhaji Balarabe Musa, Commodore Dan Suleiman, Beko Ransom Kuti, Franco Kori, Arthur Nwanko, Chima Bani, Shehu Musa Yar'Adua, and the many other heroes and heroines of democracy whose sacrifices helped secure the freedom we enjoy today. As beneficiaries of their struggle, we have a duty to strengthen and deepen the democratic institutions for which they fought. The greatest tribute we can pay is to build a Nigeria where freedom is protected, justice is upheld, opportunity is expanded, and government is accountable. June 12, 1993, revealed the possibility of a true Nigerian nation. The heroes of June 12 secured political freedom. Our challenge is to secure economic freedom. Democracy must be felt in the quality of people's lives, in opportunities for youth, in prosperous farmers, successful entrepreneurs, and the dignity of our workers. The reforms we are undertaking were not chosen for ease, but for necessity. 3 years ago, our public finances were under severe strain. Investment was discouraged, and economic uncertainty threatened our future. We chose to act, embracing reforms to advance Nigerians' economic freedom. Since 2023, our reforms have restored stability and credibility to economic management. Federation revenues have risen, providing state and local governments with more resources for infrastructure, education, health care, and security. Fiscal transparency has improved. Leakage has been reduced. And public funds in agriculture, energy, manufacturing, technology, mining, transportation, and the creative industries growing. Domestic refinery capacity on imported petroleum products. By 2023, when we came on board, the electricity sector was characterized by chronic generation shortfalls and unreliable gas supply and transmission infrastructure, so fragile that they could not evacuate available power. Distribution companies were burdened by massive